Well, good morning everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Coldest day of the year so far. It's 34 degrees right now. High of 42 today, so it's gonna be chilly. Just gonna get the combine topped off the field here. Still working on beans. We're getting close to being done. We got about 80 acres left of beans, and we got 75 acres of wheat beans. I'm not sure if those are ready yet, but we're getting close. Bean dust is terrible. Man, it's chilly. Got the combine fueled up. Gonna go hook up to the draper and move it down to the next field that we're going to. Yeah, we got a 60-acre field and a 23-acre field. They're about a mile apart. So we're hoping to knock those out today if all goes well. Oh, gotta back up a little bit. There. Perfect clip. We got this jack installed on here finally. That made a big difference. This thing's heavy. Before I take off, I'm going to start the combine. Let it warm up while I'm gone. It's good to let your engines warm up a little bit. Don't just get in them and take off. That's hard on them. So sometimes the heat in my old beater works, sometimes it doesn't. And this morning it didn't want to work on the way here, but then it decided to work. I'm glad because I need it. We got the draper moved over there. We're out here at Grandpa's. We're actually going to take the tractor and the drill over to another farm. We got Keith, he's off for 2 weeks. He's going to plant wheat for us, and when he's done with that, he's going to help us with harvest. So Dad and I are going to move the drill over there, load the seed tender up, get that ready to go. He actually got started yesterday, just kind of got the borders done, I think, and he's going to try and get, I don't know if he'll get the rest of it done today, but he's going to work on that anyways. We're going to move that over there for him. That way, when he gets there, he can just go. So start this tractor up, move it out of the way so I can get the seed tender loaded up. Just enough wind to blow the cab corn off my roof. That's kind of handy. So the field is behind me, but this is one of those farms where we don't really have a good place to hook up the head. So Dad's gonna do a drive-by, hook it up on the road, and then he'll leave, and then I'll go out and spin around, dive back into the field. Now that's service. Well, I kind of forgot I was supposed to be filming. About half done with this field, just about 30 acres done out of the 60. Everything's going good so far, and it's finally noon. And my lunchbox has been staring at me all morning, so it's time to eat. I don't know how I made it this long, but it took some serious willpower. No grain cart operator today. Keith's planting that wheat. As soon as he gets done, then we'll have a full-time grain cart operator for 2 weeks. So hopefully the weather holds out. Usually when Keith takes a week off of work, it rains the whole time. So let's hope that doesn't happen. Well, that's all for this field. Dump these on the truck and move across the section to the last field.
Like that going on, and basically along the way, we've got elevators clogged with beans. They can't take beans a lot of places. If they are, a lot of people sit.
On to our last field of soybeans, unless you want to count our double crop wheat beans. I don't think we're going to get to those right away. Anyways, last field is straight across the section here. I was going to go around and take the gravel road without taking my header off, but I just happened to notice that the two neighbors over to our east have their crop out. So I think I'm just going to shoot across their field. It's not wet or anything. I'm not going to cut any tracks. I definitely wouldn't do it if we were having a wet fall. So anyways, thanks Jared, thanks Scott, thanks for saving me some time. Shoot across there, get that field opened up. Dad's going to meet me over there with the pickup, get some trucks moved around, and we should be able to knock that one out easy. Well, that was a lot easier than going around on the road. You gotta watch the mailboxes when you're going down the road with a 35-foot header. They'll sneak up on you. Get this monitor switched over real quick. So this field has a really creative name. It's called West of Town because it's west of town. So get that switched over. Already got the climate done, and we are ready to go. Let's knock this out. It's really hard to see where our beans end and the neighbor's beans start. There's just a little bit of a color difference. That's all I really have to go on. It's inevitable that I probably got some of their beans, but if they got here first, they would have probably got some of our beans, so it is what it is, I guess. Watch out for that tree. Beans have been kind of tough this year. It really just depends on the weather as to whether beans will cut easier or not. And we had some later rains in the summer that kind of kept these beans going a little bit longer than normal, which actually I think added some yield to them, but it also kept them green for a little bit longer than they should have been. And then we started cutting before we got a frost, and they were pretty tough then. After we got a couple frosts and then a nice rain to knock the leaves off, then they started going a little better. But it seems like we had a lot of cloudy days where we were trying to cut beans, and that just doesn't make them go easy. It seems like they go a lot better when the sun's out. So last year beans went super easy. We had a smaller combine and an auger head, and I was able to go faster last year than I am able to go this year. But I think it's just one of the years where the beans are tough and there's not much we can do about it. Got a clump of dirt that's been riding around with me for a round and a half. Picking up a lot more dirt in this field. This field was worked, it wasn't no-tilled. I can really tell it. This draper has these brushes on here, and I'm not sure if that's a standard option. I'm thinking it's an add-on thing. I'm not sure how much I like it. It's supposed to keep the pods or the beans that shell out from falling through the cracks. But what happens is you get either dirt or short beans that pile up right here until you get a big old wad and the reel hits it, and then it all goes in at once. So I'm not really sure if I like those brushes. Oh well, first world problems. So I mentioned that this field isn't no-tilled. We rutted this farm up, picking the corn off of it last fall because it was so wet, it just kept raining. And we didn't want to leave those ruts and just no-till into them because this is pretty heavy ground. It's pretty nasty clay, and it just needed to be leveled out. So we ended up borrowing a neighbor's landall. He's got like a VT disc. I don't know what the actual model of it is, but we worked that, and I don't know if you can tell much on camera, but we got these thin spots right here, and we noticed it pretty early on, and we kind of thought about tearing the beans up and replanting them, or coming in here and thickening them up. But we ultimately decided to just kind of gamble on it and leave them. And these thin spots, they're not doing real great. They're, well, I mean, they're in the 40s, which isn't terrible. But so far, I've only done 8 acres, and my average is 60 bushels to the acre, which is pretty good. So, only 8 acres into it, but so far it seems like we made the right decision. So, I guess what happened was, to kind of expand on that, when we worked the ground, it dried it out, and then we didn't get a rain for like 3 weeks, so those seeds sat in dry soil, and some of them might have started to germinate, and then they just ultimately rotted in the ground and didn't come up. So if I were to do it over again, I would have planted this field thicker, maybe an extra 10 or 15,000 seeds per acre, and it might have helped. But it's just one of those things where normally we get a nice rain within a week or so, and it helps everything come up, but we didn't get it this year. But we still got pretty good yield, so just one of those weird things that happens, and not much you can do about it. Well, I gotta move some trucks. Dad had some stuff to take care of, so he left me here to finish this. We can't get these trucks in the field. The entrance isn't very good, so we got a load on the road, which isn't a big deal. It's not a real busy road. So I'll back this truck up, pull the other one up here so I can empty out the combine, and the rest of the beans should fit on that truck. Man, it hasn't got any warmer. And we're done. We're done-ish with beans. Still got double crop wheat beans left. I'm calling that a victory. I'm getting tired of beans. I think we're gonna switch back over to corn after this because we got some help for the next 2 weeks to run a grain cart. And we'd like to get as much corn out as we can because the crop in our area is a lot better than people expected. And I think the elevators are gonna get full pretty quick. And then we're gonna be kind of sitting here with nowhere to go with our grain. So probably gonna switch to corn tomorrow. Hoping we can knock some corn out. I'm kind of excited to get back into corn. All the corn we've picked so far has been really, really good, like record good. So I'm excited to get back into it and see if the rest of our crop kind of turns out that way. So anyways, thanks for watching. That's gonna do it for this video, and we'll see you on the next one.